Today I'll be discussing the development of new herbicide technologies in soybeans. Not only resistance to glyphosate and the PPO chemistry, but even now with weeds such as Palmer amaranth that are resistant to 3 and 4 different families of chemistry, the need has never been greater for farmers to have new options for weed control. While there are no truly new modes of action coming in the world of herbicides, we are seeing companies take older herbicide-tolerant traits and insert them into soybean. The result of that has been the development, for example, of Xtend soybeans, which will tolerate the herbicide dicamba, as well as Enlist soybeans, which will from Dow, which will tolerate 2,4-D. Now, both of these technologies will be available for use in 2017. Dicamba, for example, will be sold as either XtendiMax or Ingenia. Both of these products are effective at controlling Palmer amaranth as well as a broad spectrum of broadleaf weeds. One of the things that we're doing at the university is encouraging growers to follow federal guidelines with these new herbicides. There are some pretty stringent label restrictions that go along with these products. In addition to that, in an effort to curtail the further development of herbicide resistance, another standard recommendation of ours is to encourage guys, when they do adopt these new technologies, to not just solely rely on that new herbicide technology alone. That is, to use this concept of multiple modes of action in their herbicide programs. For a lot of years, the problem that we've had is a new technology will come along, like Roundup, for example. It works really good, it's inexpensive, and we end up using it on 90 or 100 of our acres and make multiple applications in a given season. And of course, this leads eventually to the development of herbicide resistance. Well, we know that whether it be dicamba in Xtend soybeans or 2,4-D choline in the Enlist soybeans, if growers come in, they just rely on this single mode of action, it's only a matter of time until we have resistance to these families of chemistry as well. In fact, through research studies at Fayetteville at the University of Arkansas, we've actually shown that in as little as 3 years, a population can become resistant to either dicamba or 2,4-D. So it's gone from the theoretical to the factual. We know this will happen. So we make recommendations such as using a residual herbicide up front in this new technology, adding other modes of action into the post-emerge program, and then of course adopting all the other cultural practices such as crop rotation, row spacing, seeding rate, anything else we can think of to help curtail the further development of resistance in these new technologies. Now, on down the road, you know, the Xtend technology, the 2,4-D choline or the Enlist technologies, those are currently available for 2017. In the future, we expect to see soybeans that will also tolerate the HPPD family of chemistry. This family of chemistry is currently primarily used in corn with trade names such as Callisto and Balance. Here at the university, we've been working with both Bear Crop Science and Syngenta, looking at the development of HPPD tolerant soybeans. Along with this technology is coming the concept of stack traits. So we may see a soybean someday that is tolerant to 3 or 4 different herbicides instead of just 1 or 2 at a time. So we're looking at new technologies coming that's incorporating older herbicides. We're looking at stack traits, and in general our recommendations around this technology just involve mixing up these herbicide mode of actions, not relying solely on a mode of action. We really need to get that first application out on 2 to 3 inch pigweed. I think the label says a maximum of 4 inch pigweed. What happens is when you start getting into 6 or 8 inch pigweed, you only get partial control, or you may kill some of the population and not all the population. Well, this allows some plants to survive. And if they never get resprayed or retreated and they go to seed, there's a higher potential for those plants to have resistance. In order to avoid growers getting in this situation, we like to recommend a good residual herbicide up front. Right now, Group 15 chemistry, which includes Dual, Residual, Outlook, and Warrant, those types of compounds, along with metribuzin, which is a Group 5 herbicide. We don't have any resistance to those in pigweed, so if you can incorporate those into your Extend or Enlist soybean weed control program, then you're taking a step toward resistance management. So, our goals are to try to make growers successful with the technology and make the technology last as long as it possibly can. Don't make a switch to a new technology unless you have a good reason. For example, if you've been battling resistant pigweed for a number of years, say you've been in Liberty Link soybeans for 3 or 4 years, well, you're starting to put a little bit of resistance pressure for the development of resistance to Liberty in that situation. That's a good reason to switch to dicamba. If your current weed control program is failing, whatever it may be, and you're in need of a new technology, then by all means switch. But don't switch just because it's the newest, latest, greatest thing. Try to have a reason for making that change. Without the support of the Arkansas Soybean Promotion Board, it just wouldn't be possible to do all of the work that we do in soybeans.